WTOK-TV, this is News Center 11.
People in Neshoba County calling for an end to the violence in their community as they share their stories of loss. But first, a frightening day in downtown Demopolis after the district attorney was shot in the middle of the day. Now we learn more about the shooter's history.
News Center 11 at 6 starts now.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Lindsey Hall. The district attorney for our local West Alabama counties was shot in broad daylight right outside his office. The alleged shooter was taken down and killed by authorities. District Attorney Greg Griggers was rushed to the hospital. Fortunately, he's already been released. Now we're learning more about who shot him as investigators try to determine a motive. Perry Robinson is live with tonight's top story. He is outside the courthouse in Demopolis with the latest. Perry?
Lindsey, Captain Jason Roberts from the State Bureau of Investigation told media that DA Greg Griggers was just returning from lunch when the shooter opened up in an ambush-style attack while he was still sitting in his vehicle. The captain confirmed the shooter was a former Alabama State Trooper by the name of Steve Smith Jr. A nearby law enforcement officer shot the suspect before anyone else was hurt. Smith Jr. was pronounced dead. Neighboring District Attorney Michael Jackson says Smith has a prior criminal history. Smith was accused of shooting into the home of 17th Judicial Circuit Judge Eddie Hardaway with a shotgun back in 1996. Griggers was treated for minor injuries and was released from the hospital. Right now, there is no word of a possible motive at this time. Demopolis Police Chief Tommy Reese joined in on the presser to reflect on this terrifying scene.
I've been knowing Greg Griggers probably 20 years or more, and he's been a great friend of mine, great prosecutor. He's done a great job in our circuit. Enemies, the job by itself, they tell the enemy that you get by doing the job. But otherwise, beyond that, Greg is a great person in the community. He's well liked, very respected.
As a precaution, all school system campuses and offices in Demopolis immediately went into lockdown at that point. School and offices remained that way until an all-clear notification came from the Demopolis Police Department. And again, we will continue to provide you on information that we receive in response to what exactly on a possible motive later on tonight and on tomorrow as we will do an update on this story. Reporting live from Demopolis, Perry Robinson, News Center 11.
Thanks a lot, Perry.
WTOK-TV, this is News Center 11.
An eyewitness describes the terrifying moments during the shooting in downtown Demopolis yesterday.
And the target of that shooting, District Attorney Greg Griggers, talks about what happened as police update that investigation.
News Center 11 at 6 starts now.
Good evening, I'm Candace Gornett.
And I'm Lindsey Hall. West Alabama's district attorney tells his version of events after he was shot yesterday outside his office in broad daylight.
Police have also revealed more information about what may have motivated the shooter to try and kill Greg Griggers. Perry Robinson begins coverage of our top story tonight.
He is live in Demopolis, where the DA wrapped up a press conference about an hour ago. Perry?
Candace and Lindsey, District Attorney Greg Griggers just spoke with media members a short time ago, and his overall message was short and concise, but he did want to let people know that he is alive and well. Now, earlier today, we did talk with Police Chief Tommy Reese, and he gave us additional information about the shooting. The shooter, former State Trooper Steve Smith Jr., allegedly parked his car across the street where I'm standing right now and ambushed the district attorney. 2 law enforcement officers were on scene and chased Smith down an alley. That's when Smith was shot and killed. The chief says investigators are still working on a possible motive. We talked to DA Griggers' longtime friend and business partner, Judge Woody Denning. The judge said Smith and Griggers did not know each other, but we will show you soundbite from earlier in the presser on DA Griggers and how he is feeling now after being released from the hospital.
Just to put some of the speculation and rumors to rest, I'm good. I'll be back to work Monday. I've got full faith and confidence in Captain Roberts. He'll get to the bottom of what this thing's about. He does a good job, always has, and I've got every confidence in him that he'll get to the bottom of this as well. Meantime, we'll go back to doing what we do.
The Alabama State Bureau of Investigation is handling the case. And again, back to the presser that was held just a few minutes ago. They didn't give us any other information outside of what was given to us yesterday from the press conference that was right outside where I'm standing at on yesterday evening. But they did say they will continue to keep us updated on any other information that will come from this case. Reporting from Demopolis, Perry Robinson, News Center 11.
Perry, thanks a whole lot. We appreciate that reporting.
Well, the shooting is still the talk of the town in West Alabama. Many folks still in a state of shock and disbelief. Local business owner Thomas Culpepper tells News Center 11 he witnessed much of the shooting. Culpepper says he was getting into his truck when he saw the suspect, Steve Smith, running down the alleyway. Culpepper says he was hit by a bullet that ricocheted when officers opened fire on Smith. Culpepper says it was a frightening experience, but it could have been much worse.
All of a sudden, the bullets started flying and shooting, and I felt this thing hit me right here, and it was what it was, ricocheted off of there, and it missed my eye, thank goodness.
Culpepper says he's grateful he wasn't hurt and is glad DA Griggers will be okay.
The district attorney says he made eye contact with former state trooper Steve Smith Jr. seconds before he opened fire. Griggers reacted by reaching for his own gun, but he froze and prepared for the worst.
You know, it's still surreal.
Smith was killed by law enforcement on scene, and the DA was rushed to a local hospital. Griggers was shot in the arm, and debris cut his eye and other parts of his body. He says the only thing going through his mind on his way to the emergency room was the safety of his family.
I was kind of panicked about getting word to them as quick as I could because, you know, things get said and things get misunderstood. And the last thing I wanted anybody in my immediate family to think was that the worst had happened.
The DA could not confirm if he knew Smith due to the ongoing investigation. He did say, however, that the shooting was unexpected.
It was really hard to kind of accept it, that somebody had just shot you, you know, in the middle of the day right there in downtown Demopolis.
A few stitches and 3 days later, Griggers was back to work. The district attorney's office was in the middle of one of the most high-profile cases in recent years, with the prosecution of former Sumter County Sheriff Tyrone Clark. Griggers says he refused to let the shooting slow him down.
It didn't seem right to me because of what happened to kick that down the road to a later date, not knowing and realizing how much time had been spent, not by me, but by a lot of people. It was just time to get that resolved. So, and I think it probably helped me too. You know, it gave me something to focus on.
The DA says he doesn't want to call his second chance at life luck, but considers it more like a blessing.
Maybe, perhaps with a little bit more time, you know, I'll understand it better, but I'm just real blessed and thank the good Lord that he was not ready for me to go.
In Demopolis, Perry Robinson, News Center 11.